Welcome to another episode of Read All About It. I'm your host, Reed. Today I'm doing a quick, short little video on one severely underutilized technique and piece of gear. In my time as an RO as well as a competitor, I see a lot of people not doing this. I personally do it on most stages. And I think it buys me a couple hits, reduces the wobble in my sight picture, and that thing is adding weight to your tripod. So most of us have tripods that have hooks underneath, and you can hang whatever you need from there. Most of us are running pretty stout tripods that can handle extra weight, like this Vortex Carbon Radiant, I believe, is rated up to like 75 pounds or something like that. Obviously, in NRL Hunter, none of us are shooting a rifle that weighs anywhere close to that, but we might be hauling around packs that weigh a good majority of that. And by hanging that from this hook, we can take a lot of the wobble out of the tripod. It puts a little bit of flex in the legs, gets them to bite into the ground real nice, and especially if you're shooting from a standing position in the wind, I think it really lessens the wobble in your sight picture. When you got that a cross breeze and you're standing and you're shooting off of a tripod, having a little extra weight on the tripod really takes that vibration out of it, and makes that sight picture look a lot better. If you look at my hook, you can see there's a bunch of gouges in it from the S-beaner that I put on my pack that I hang from there. So if I am from a standing position, I take my pack, and I do always have an S-beaner attached to the top carry handle on that. And then I just bring the pack underneath and just hang it just like that. Full of ammo, full of other bags and snacks and magazines and everything else that I bring to a match. Why are we lugging it around and not using it? This is an easy and effective way to utilize more of your gear that should hopefully help you as well. Most of us just take our pack off and set it on the ground. If you notice here from the height, obviously my pack is too tall if I were in a collapsed kneeling position, but that doesn't mean we can't use some of our other gear to add weight to our tripod. Most of us just went from having our game changer up here, glassing, rather than just taking it off and setting it on the ground, grab it, and I always have an S-beaner attached to my primary bag as well. This is my backup game changer. But hang that from a collapsed kneeling position. It's going to add, if you're carrying a heavy fill bag, you're adding substantial weight to the bottom of that tripod, and it's going to eat up not only the wobble, but adding that weight when you're clamped in reduces the recoil as well. It's just, it's like adding a 10-pound weight to your rifle. I don't see why more people don't take advantage of this little hack. And you've got the gear sitting literally right there. You've packed it around all day. Why not take advantage of it? Obviously practice. Make sure that having that tripod extra heavy and you shooting doesn't cause any funky point of impact shifts. You obviously test it out at the range before you do it at a match. But for me, 9 times out of 10, I'm at the very least hanging my game changer from the hook on my tripod. Most of the time, I'm shooting from a collapsed kneeling off of the tripod because you don't need to get a ton of elevation. The caveat being, just be prepared that when you need to move positions, your whole rig is just going to weigh more when you're clamped in. So, you know, you're definitely going to need 2 hands to pick it up and move it. But it's really not an issue. You just grab it from 2 legs. You know, your ball head should be stiff enough if you set it up properly, that the gun's not going to flop around or anything. So if you just pick it up by 2 legs, move to your next position, set it down, and then you should be good to go. You know, that's my little trick of the day. You know, I would implement that in your next training session, and then start implementing it in matches if I were you. I think it's a cheap and easy way to get yourself a better sight picture and ultimately probably a few more impacts. So if you have any comments about it, if you do it yourself or have tried it and didn't like it, you know, leave me a comment, let me know I'm an idiot or whatever. But also just give us a like, comment, and subscribe, share it around, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks.